The oil fields are on this high, and you look, if we can turn, this water field of ours is in the low. And across the way, you barely see it, is a ridge that traps the water on the west side. This ridge traps it on the east side, so all the water is contained in this big Leon Valley.
Clayton Williams says his land is perfectly situated to capture the aquifer's abundant water at its peak and put it to the best use for mankind. Otherwise, this vital resource is lost.
Water in those rocks is not standing there waiting for somebody, it's moving on. It's moving downhill, gravity. And so as it moves downhill, once it moves through you, that water's going on. So if you capture it, then it will be of use to mankind. If you don't capture it, it goes on, becomes salty, and onto the ocean and no further use to man.
Clady says the law of capture in Texas is more than a century old and plays a vital role in his efforts to conserve and put to best use the abundant water upon which his Fort Stockton land sits.
We developed this land with the law of capture, so everything we've done is very legal to Texas law.
And if it's not captured here, what happens to it?
If it's not captured, it flows on toward the Pecos River.
And then what happens? Is it
and
usable?
It turns to salt water. It starts turning salt water here. For example, our further south farms have half the solids in the water that the ones here. In other words, the further it goes through that rock, which the Edwards was laid down once in the ocean, so the rock has salts in it, and the more the water travels through that salty rock, the more salty the water becomes. For example, my friends, the Atkins, farmed at Grand Falls, his father did, farmed at Grand Falls, and now it's all abandoned because the water's too salty. And that's, once it's salty, it's gone, probably eventually gets to the ocean somewhere.
And it's not usable for anything.
Once it's that salty, it's not. Well, they tried raising shrimp in Imperial, but it didn't work.